Hi, Instructure. I'm super excited to share with you some of my Canvas modules so you can get a feel for how well I know Canvas. I worked on this first project as a team of faculty members. We created ancillary materials for an OER textbook for English 105 called How Arguments Work. So you can see in these modules, we essentially just have one for every chapter of the textbook. And this is meant to be for any faculty member using the book. We start off with just links to each section of the chapter, and then at the very end, we have the ancillaries that we created for that chapter. Often it was simply a quiz. So you can see this quiz here. We would make the details really generic, so again, any faculty member could pick them up. And then we would also create feedback for every question of the quiz. Let me see if I can show that for you. So for example, here, I go and submit the quiz. I am not a great student. It will give me some feedback for the correct or incorrect questions that I have here. So we created all those materials and put them in this shell. However, as you can see, it is not personalized at all. So now I'm going to show you a more personalized version of what I would do in Canvas. For my own courses, I would typically make some sort of landing page that was tailored to specifically that week. Students tend to get very confused upon entry into a Canvas course, so I would change it each week, typically with some sort of visual up top that stated what we would do that week, the dates and major assignments and all that good stuff, and then links to all of the things that they needed to do in order to be successful for that week. If you were to click into my modules, which would essentially be like a table of contents for the entire course, you would see up top some helpful resources, then the syllabus module, and then finally a module for each week of the course. The campus resources and other helpful links are typically just that, helpful links. I make sure that everything is embedded and structured properly so students can use it, especially if they have a screen reader and it is accessible for them. And if you click into something that is intended to be a lecture, what you would get is more content, right, that the students can study and work their way through. Some tabs to help them chunk the material into digestible components instead of overwhelming them with a really long page, and also mixing up some images, right, and being sure to cite my sources, as I just like my students to do as well, and make sure I include where the images are found. This is an example of another lecture. One thing I want to point out is that all my videos can be watched within the page, which I think is really useful. And also I like to include very specific instructions, right? Please review the following 3 tabs. Students would probably say, but how do I know I can review I should review the following tabs. So I always put it very, very explicitly. This is what an assignment page may look like, for example, an essay. It will link back to the prompt, but the prompt is not included in the submission page. This is simply the instructions. And a quiz for this course actually would be an adapted version of what I created for the OER shell. So I just took it and deleted anything I didn't want and made the assignment requirements my own. And that's it. I hope you got a feel for how extensively I've used Canvas. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I look forward to connecting.